Hey Bubble family, welcome back to the channel. Now in today's video, I'm going to discuss the relationship between Thomas Markle and Meghan Markle and kind of my thoughts on what I feel possibly happened that has created what we have today, and the reasons why I believe that because of the personality that I believe Meghan has, which is narcissistic personality disorder. In fact, I believe that she is a megalomaniac narcissist, which is why I believe that she will not go and see her father. And in fact, the only reason she will go and see her father is, well, if you want to watch why, I won't tell now, but if you want to watch why, then you know what to do. Grab your drink of choice, whether it be tea, coffee, water, gin, Baileys, vodka. You know, it's 5 o'clock somewhere, so grab your drink of choice and let's dive right in. So welcome Bubbles, welcome back to the channel. Now don't forget, if you like these videos, give them a thumbs up. If you like more than one or two videos, then maybe you'd like to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on notifications for all the videos that I bring to the channel. As always, you know, I'm a therapist, I'm a qualified therapist, and I bring my therapeutic perspective to these videos, along with my own personal opinion and a little bit of tea. I am British after all. So, Meghan and Thomas. I believe that, so I'm going to take it back to the beginning. So, you know, if you look at the two of them, you know, you've got a father, a daughter. Now, as always, when I give a therapeutic perspective, I understand absolutely what it's like to have clients that have come to me, and there are many clients, and I'm sure there are many of you guys out there that have either become estranged from a parent or even your own child. And there are reasons, you know, whatever those reasons are, and, you know, even if you believe in that moment that those reasons are valid. Now, obviously, there is always going to be two sides to every perspective. And in this case, we have obviously Meghan Markle and we have Thomas Markle. But what you're also dealing with here is you're dealing with celebrity, a celebrity, so to speak. And when you're dealing with that, then obviously there are a lot of things that are in the public eye. So we get kind of like almost like an inside view to kind of what is going on, rather than this one-sided version. And obviously Thomas Markle has spoken out, whether it be via himself or from his other daughter, Samantha Markle, in what is going on. Now, I know that there are opinions that people don't necessarily believe Thomas and Samantha, and that is okay. You don't have to believe them. I, on the other hand, am choosing, I guess, to believe that Thomas isn't being dishonest. I do believe that he is just a very desperate man trying to see his grandchildren before he passes, and perhaps see his daughter before he passes. So let's take it back to a little bit in the beginning. So what you have in the beginning, before she met Harry, was you had a lot of information on her TIG on Instagram where she doted about her father. She expressed how much she loved him. She kind of really created herself to be like a daddy's girl. And you also have the fact that you have Thomas Markle, who doted on her, spoilt her even, and literally gave her everything. You know, he set her up in the most prestigious, put my teeth back in, prestigious schools. And he paved the way for her to start in the industry. So he pretty much, for all intents and purposes, for all of the money that he won on the lottery and he earned, by the looks of it, he really did put that into Meghan, in her being a success. So obviously with those circles that Meghan then started to infiltrate and climb the ladder. You know, she was kind of going up stage by stage by stage, you know, setting this precedent of who she wanted to meet, who was going to benefit her. You know, she's a chancer and she's a climber. You know, it's not necessary she wants to work for it, but it's more the fact that she just wants to meet people that can get her on that next level. And that's what she's consistently done in the marriages that she's had, with the people that she's used along the way. And I believe that it was a plan to infiltrate the royal family. Now, whether or not she was purposely setting her sights on William, there is a lot of rumours around this. Possibly, I believe maybe. Hence why I believe the rumour with Catherine's friend was circulating. But of course, she started off by getting to that bit. She had to get in there first. And of course, who was available? Dimbo Royal Harry, who, you know, fell for her. Now, obviously, the rumours being the fact that in the beginning it was not serious, hence why you saw that there was where they possibly were sort of dating, then they broke up, and then somehow they kind of got back together again, and then the next thing we know, they're engaged to be married. Now, I will do a video on that another time. This is to kind of stay with the Thomas and the Meghan theme. So she just then tells her father, as it seems, that I'm dating a prince. And it was there the relationship seemed to then just dissipate. And so what I'm guessing here is what is fitting the narrative of what is supposedly I picked up on from various people, including Lady C, Padina, other channels that I watch, and the information that I've kind of gleaned for myself. I believe she set up this narrative where it was, I've come from this really bad background. You know, I have clawed my way up the top. I have worked hard, almost like this Cinderella story. And so, of course, I think that this tapped into Harry's kind of rescuing side, which I do believe he's probably got or did have. And he felt the need to kind of he felt sorry for her, perhaps felt the need to kind of rescue her a little bit. And of course, the fact that she was wearing Diana's perfume, she's worn Diana's clothes. So you've got this psychological warfare going on where she's trauma bonding with him, which is a very classic move, again, with a narcissist. A lot of mirroring going on where she's kind of like, you know, I'm a humanitarian, which is why her Wikipedia changed overnight. She went from being like a supermodel, where was that? Must have missed that one, to she's a humanitarian, and she's cooking chicken with him. They bonded over chicken, which I think was a euphemism. And, you know, so I think she set up this narrative of, you know, I'm just this like rags to riches kind of person. You know, I've clawed my way at the top and my horrible family have just tried to come in on my coattails and they're using me. And I think this is why you never had Harry going to Thomas for his hand in marriage to Meghan. He never... You know, it was interesting to me that this dating of 2 years, he never met Thomas Markle. And so to me, that fits the narrative that she's portrayed this, I'm in this abused family. I'm abused in this family. I'm used even in this family. So of course, you know, from the get-go, Harry has zero respect for Thomas. He's believed the lies. He's believed the story that Meghan has told him. So, and then it's interesting to me that Thomas never got an invite for the wedding. So I think the plan was, and then of course, then this orchestrated pap shot that happened, where he's seen getting fitted for suits, you know, and in his own words, because he didn't want to feel an embarrassment to her. I mean, bless his heart. I mean, just even that alone is so awful to me, that a father feels that he's got to change his image so he's not an embarrassment to the daughter that he's known for years. You know, so he kind of does this, but somehow that is enough for Meghan to decide she no longer wants him at the wedding. But here we also have, and this is what I found incredibly strange, because then what happened was this narrative then started to come out in the media about how awful Thomas was. And then not only that, then the narrative of the fact that this man has had 2 heart attacks and nobody Nobody in the media called her out on it. Nobody said, hang on a minute. Your dad has just had 2 heart attacks. He's in hospital. You have the means to get on a private jet and in 7 hours, you know, be over there just to make sure he's okay, regardless of, you know, the fact that, okay, he's, you know, because at that time we kind of were all believing it, I guess. Some of us were. And, you know, and it's kind of like, okay, aside from that, you know, this man is your dad and he's in hospital after having 2 heart attacks. And you haven't got the compassion to go over there and see if he's okay at the very least. Even if you were still angry and still steadfast in kind of what you believed, that didn't touch something within your heart to go over there. And it was these things that I started to then, like the engagement video for one was a bit of a tell for me. And I had huge red flags where that was concerned. There was consistent dishonesty, I believe, from both sides. But not only that, it was this particular moment that I thought, there's something not right here, because you know, this is a woman that literally 2 years ago was gushing about her father, how amazing he was, and yet suddenly he's the worst father on the planet, and nobody is kind of picking up on this, which seems to be the consistent theme along the way. It's like Meghan is behaving in all these various ways, and yet the media are still not calling her out. Some are, more so now than before, but generally speaking, not so much. So you have this where this poor man then doesn't get to walk his daughter down the aisle. One of the most, you know, the fact that she's marrying a prince and she's got to have this whole fanfare, even though it's not usual, because obviously Harry is, he's not like the next in line, but she wants the whole big thing. She was given the opportunity to not have a big wedding. She was given the opportunity to go and work in Hollywood and have and still just do the odd thing for the royals. She chose not to. She wanted all in. She was going to be, you know, hit the ground running, if you remember the engagement video. What I think then happened was then she started continuing with this narrative with Thomas. And then, so of course, then come the press pieces where this man started to become desperate. He was desperate to reach her. She was ignoring him. The royal family, I believe, then kind of stepped back because Meghan asked them to. So they respected her wishes because I guess at the time they believed her, and they stepped away from him as well. So this man was literally thrown to the wolves. You know, it was a free-for-all. And so, of course, it then paved the way for reporters to kind of try and befriend him, try and take his side. And I think, obviously, you know, you've got Piers Morgan, you've got Dan Wootton, who I do think in their own way are trying to get his voice out. But at the same time, they're still using him. They are still using him for clout. And I think anyone really that speaks to him publicly, in a way, you know, whether or not you don't believe you're doing it, you're still using him, because, you know, he said the same story. So anything, even if he comes out now and says it again and again and again, it's still the same thing rehashed. He wants to see his daughter, he wants to see his grandchildren, which I understand, and quite rightly so. And Samantha is kind of saying the same thing. It's just this frustration and anger at and I guess disbelief that this woman has literally ghosted them completely. She's got what she wanted. She's used and bled this man dry. He now has nothing. He cannot even pay his medical bills, from what I've heard, and yet she's got the means to. Why not pay his medical bills? Why not pay his medical bills? You know, pay his medical bills, you know, make sure that he's living in comfort and he's okay. You could have protected him from the press, regardless of, even if, say, for example, and I'm going to speak for myself, even if I fell out of one of my family members and say I married somebody famous, Johnny Depp, if you're watching, but obviously get yourself clean first. You know, oh no, wait a minute, no, Sam Hewn as well from Outlander. Is he single? I don't know. Anyway, I digress. Yeah, so she could have paid his medical bills. She could have made sure he was okay. And from what I'm gathering, she hasn't. She's left this man destitute. And of course, then you've got the Sugars who are basically going, well, she doesn't owe him anything. I'm sorry, but yes, she does. In my opinion, I believe she does. She owes him being a daughter. Making sure he's okay. This is not just about money. It's about morals. Why as if this was me, it's like, no matter, even if I was angry and I say I married someone famous, and I could see that my parents were being hounded by the press, I would do everything in my power to make sure they're okay. It may not change my relationship with them, but I would still make sure they're okay. She hasn't done that. She's literally just left the entire family just to deal with the onslaught of the media, which has painted them out to be just money hungry, fame hungry, always wanting kind of to get in the news. But what I see is just a desperate father who just keeps clinging to the idea that at some point he's going to get through to her. And so I think all these kind of media interviews that he does, or Sam does, I think it's just them trying to have their voice, have their say, because every other door is slammed shut. He's tried he's tried writing to her, he's tried getting in touch with her, he has tried everything possible to speak to her, and the doors are just slammed shut. There's just so the only option he has is to do interviews. And I can get that. I mean, okay, it may not be the right thing, but I can get how this man is just so frustrated and desperate that he's trying everything. And of course, then this opens the doors, like I say, for the wolves to kind of come in and be like, oh, we'll look after you, we'll make, we'll give you your voice, we'll do this, we'll use you, because it's clicks, it's clickbait. And I just think it's really sad. And of course, now the latest thing we've got seen with the poor man has now had a stroke, and he's now now gone to hospital. I think he's gone home now, I believe, but he's had a stroke and he's really poorly again. And of course, the backlash from the fact that instead of going to see her father, Meghan Markle decided to take a cameraman, okay, allegedly, but this is what I'm hearing, and her bodyguards, and use and just have a photo opportunity at this horrendous tragedy that happened at the Robb Elementary School in Texas. And she used this for PR, and the backlash has been extreme, because Matthew McConaughey, who actually was born there, didn't even do that straight away. He wrote I think something on Instagram or Twitter, and he then did go out and pay his respects, but as far as I'm aware, there is no footage of him, but he did go. But of course, she managed to go, even though the Sugars again are saying, why should she not go? Well, who is she? Who is she? What? She's not a working royal. She's just Meghan Markle. She's got no connections to Texas. In fact, actually, Harry didn't go because he said it wasn't appropriate. But of course, she ignored that and went anyway. Then you've got footage that come out either the same day or 24 hours later in the media, and yet apparently she went incognito. I'm sorry, if you're going incognito, wear a mask, sunglasses, baseball cap on. No one would have known who she was. Then she tried apparently to get into the school, was told no. It's just, all the while her father is in hospital after having a stroke. He should have been the first person that she should have gone to see. And of course, now we see the media again, the boring clickbait media of, oh, Meghan Markle is desperately trying to heal the 4-year rift with her father. Why do you have to try? That man has been banging on for 4 years of wanting to heal this rift. Why do you have to try? It's quite simple. Pick up the bloody phone. Pick up the phone, or turn up and be like, I'm here, Dad. I'm here. I want to heal this rift. But no, of course, we've got to have the media posts. I've got to be talking about it, because we know she's got no interest, because then the truth will be exposed. She's not going to bring Harry to chat with Thomas, because Thomas would tell the truth. She will not want anything coming out because it would then possibly ruin everything, especially because I believe that Harry and Meghan have only got a business relationship anyway. It would come out that she lied about everything, and it might give him then grounds for divorce. Who knows? But in my opinion, I just think she's never going to see him unless Netflix push her to do it. Everything now is about Netflix. The turning up to the Platinum Jubilee, Netflix. I don't believe, in my opinion, that Meghan wants to come here. There is only 2 reasons why she's coming here. 1, Netflix. 2, because apparently in the media is that they're bringing Lilibet over and that they're going to introduce to the Queen, but I think they're going to, like we've said in the live, that she's going to have her Lilibet moment where she's going to bring the child onto the balcony. So everything is about PR, and it is going to monopolize and make the Jubilee about her. And the media will do it because the media, for some reason, do not call this woman out on her behaviour. They are, like when she called, after, her alleged daughter after Lily, Lilibet, the Queen's nickname. Everyone was like, oh, this is such an amazing thing. No, it's not. It's disrespectful. It's disrespectful, and you know it is. Everything this woman does is for PR. So the only reason that she will go and visit her father, and she will not bring Harry with her, and she probably won't even bring the alleged children with her, is because it will be PR. She will turn up at the hospital. She will make sure that the photographs see her turning up at the hospital. She might even do a little hug with her father just to make sure she gets that photo op, and it'll all be for Netflix. Look, I've made up with my dad. Everything's so amazing now. And everyone in the media will be like, oh, look, she's so heartwarming. She's so amazing. And yet for 4 years, she's put this man through hell. And that will be bypassed because she's turned up at the hospital after probably looking at all the media backlash of what she did in Texas. And she realizes perhaps the only way that she's going to make that any better is if she goes to visit her dad. Do not think for 1 second this woman has an ounce of compassion in her. She doesn't. She never has. She never will. Everything she does will be calculated. It will be with a PR perspective of her brand, which is herself. Her brand is herself, Meghan Markle. And she will use and do whatever it takes to keep that brand in the media and to keep that money coming in. But like I say, this is just my own personal thoughts and opinions. And, as always, I invite you to, in the comments, tell me what you think. Do you agree? Do you disagree? I pretty much know what you're going to say, but I invite it anyway. So let me know what you guys think. And as always, thank you to everybody that has bought me a cup of tea. Thank you to everyone who likes these videos, who is subscribing to my channel. And you know how much I love and appreciate you. So thank you, as always. Have a wonderful week, and I will see you in my video tomorrow. Take care, Bubble family. Mwah. Bye.